You guys ever wonder what it would be like to date someone who's horny?
And challenge. You have been found guilty of Oni racism. Have you anything to declare?
Suck an egg, Your Honor.
Send him to hell! 30 days community service. And hit him with the chancleta on the way out.
You know, I have been asked the question before of whether or not, if monster girls existed, would I be considered racist? Am I afraid of them coming after me? Well, to that, I say, come get me, ladies. Hi, welcome to this series where I teach you why it's a bad idea to date fictional women. Deadly fictional women. Another hot woman that has been put down on Earth, too dangerous for us to attain. We're doing Onis, and I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of had a little bit of trouble with this one. This all started as a way for me to talk about Tio for Monster Girls, but after doing the research, I realized way too late that she was actually an ogre, so we're just gonna have to save ogres for another date. And then there's Lum. I'm gonna be real with you. I do not consider her an Oni. I'm gonna stick with my gut on this one. I think that Lum is an outer space alien who happens to look like an Oni. I don't consider her an authentic, like, actual Oni bred from hell, because that's just not who she is. She's an alien who was modeled after it, and I've checked on Google. Google, to its credit, says that she is an Oni, but modeled after one. She's an alien that's supposed to look like one. Now, that's not to say that I don't like Lum. I think that she's cute. I like her tiger skin bikini. I like her horns. I like that she shoots lightning from her fingertips. I like what David's production did for her new design. I think that she's great. I also just don't think that she's an Oni, and for that, I'll see you in the comments. Drake. If you want to call me out and say that she's an Oni, fine. You believe what you want to believe. I believe that she at least looks the part of an anime Oni. Oni girls are athletically fit, strong, and forceful, which, I'll be honest with you, that sounds like a good time. And I found that most of them, not all of them, at least from the shows that I've seen, have a very down-to-earth and tomboy sort of aesthetic about them, which is not only really hot and then really cute when they start acting all girlish, but that also means that an Oni girl would be 100% down with my idea to go on a bumper car date. Finally! Soon our vindication will come. That said, fellas, there are some dangers to our health that need to be addressed, because Onis and humans have not always gotten along. It's so unfair. How does something so hot not get along with us? But to understand why they were so dangerous, we need to get into the colorfully violent history of the Oni. Who they were, why they are, who they ate. Yep. Ate. That said, if I do get any details wrong, feel free to crucify me, but just don't turn me over to them. I am confident in my ability to hold my own in a fight, but I don't think I'm winning against her. Not her. Maybe her. Not her. Not that one. Okay, not her either, but I don't mind losing that fight. So without further ado, let's get into why dating an Oni is a bad idea. The Oni is a supernatural being that has been around since antiquity, and while I would like to say that it's mostly associated with Japan, which it is, there is reason to believe that it might have been an idea or a concept of a creature that was created from China that spread its way to Japan because of Buddhism. In the ancient days, the Oni were a way to explain the destructive forces of nature that people just didn't really know how to explain. Almost the same way as the Minotaur and the Harpy over in Greece that were responsible for controlling the weather and earthquakes. Why do the mountains rumble and the earth shake? Well, it's because there's some sort of creature up there that does it. Why is there thunder that falls from the sky? Well, a creature does that too. But where the Oni differs from the Minotaur, at least at this point, is that the Minotaur was hated. It was an enemy of mankind. Whereas in ancient times, the Oni was not that. It was more of just a creature that existed out in the woods that you just didn't want to mess with out of your own safety. But it's not like it went out of its way to harm people. At least, not yet. Enter the Heian period of Japanese history that is known for two things: nationalism and wars with tribesfolk in the north. So what you gotta know about Japan at this time is that they are just about coming to be. Japan, okay, I want to say that it was called Japan at this point. I'm going to keep calling it that, but the centralized government to the south was known as the Yamato faction. And the goal of the Yamato faction was to try to conquer the entire island of Japan. but what was stopping them were tribes pulled to the north, both the Ainu and another group that really gave them trouble that were known as the Emishi. The Emishi were just freaking cool. You can sort of view the Emishi as what the Indians were to American history, in which they were indigenous people that were fighting against a more modern government with modern military tactics and weapons. But the thing with the Emishi, which is what made them really hard to conquer, was that they were really good at fighting. The Emishi were known for their expert horse archery and hit-and-run tactics, while the Yamato faction had militaries that were built similar to how China did theirs, which is to say, big group of infantry soldiers trained as well as you could to fight on open battlefields. But there was the problem, because while the Chinese military example would be great when fighting in an open field, that's not how the Emishi fought. They were guerrilla tactics, and that's how they've been able to hold off the Yamato faction for centuries. This all changes when warriors in the Yamato faction mimic the horse archery tactics of the Emishi and finally start seeing some success in fighting back their guerrilla tactics. And it's because of this that the northern tribes are taken over from there relatively quickly, which takes us to the Heian period, where at this point the Japanese military, the Yamato faction, have just about pushed the Emishi up north to Hokkaido. Now you're probably wondering, Antagonish, what does this have to do with dating an Oni? Well, I'm about to get into that, because the first thing I mentioned that the Heian period was known for is nationalism. You see, it was during this period, through all the military victories, that the government, the Yamato faction, was trying to find a sense of self. The best way of doing that is to create art, poetry, artistic pieces, and lo and behold, those old stories of Oni that shook the earth and created lightning from the heavens suddenly became a very good source of inspiration for poetry and artwork during this time, which really created the Japanese identity, or at least laid the groundwork for the Japanese identity that we know today. But that's not the whole story, because the government wasn't just interested in using the Oni as an art piece and subject matter for poetry. They were interested in using the Oni as a propaganda tool. The albeit vague stories of the creatures that roamed the mountains and rural areas of unknown Japan were very similar to the Emishi that the Japanese Yamato faction had pushed into the north. So for all intents and purposes, the Oni and the Emishi people became one and the same. But because the Onis were so vague, at least from what we knew about them were so vague, the Yamato faction filled in those gaps with some very hateful and demonic things that would get people to hate them. So while the Oni was not really intended to be a demonic being, an enemy of mankind, that is eventually what it became as a result of this period of Japanese history. A way for the newly forming Japanese government to make fun of their neighbors to the north, while also providing the Japanese people with a subject matter that would lay the foundation for modern-day Japanese culture. Two birds, one stone. It's just unfortunate that the Oni got caught in the crossfire of this, and unfortunately had to be made out to be a monster. So how did the Japanese remake the Oni, and by extension view their neighbors to the north? They were very, very mean. Whereas the Oni were once a neutral supernatural being that roamed the unknown regions of Japan, they were now an enemy of mankind that spawned from hell. More accurately, the Oni were minions of hell directed under King Enma, who's the king of hell in Japanese Buddhism, who would tell the Oni to torture all those who came to hell with a furious wrath. So yeah, Oni were demons, but not just any demons. They were barbarians with unbelievable strength, regeneration, characterized by tiger skin loincloths, big metal bats, sometimes colored skin, whether it be red, blue, or I guess tan, pale human colored skin, with snarling teeth and a tall frame, complete with demon horns. Because, you know, if you're a creature from hell, you've got to have horns. I really don't know where that came from, but that's just a stereotype, I guess. I also didn't know where to put it, but it's worth mentioning here that Oni is the male term for creatures like this. There actually is a female version as well, called the Kijo, which is more or less just a female Oni. It's the same thing, they're just called Kijo. but I'm just going to keep calling him Oni because it's easier. But at this point, that doesn't sound like a bad deal. She's red, she has horns, she's strong, forceful. Again, that sounds like a good time. So, what's so bad about her, Antagonish? Well, I will tell you, because the key does not lie with looks, my friends. It lies with personality. It lies with what she likes to do. And what the Oni would like to do is torment humans. Oni are also big fans of violence, alcohol, and cannibalism, of the human variety. She will eat you. Yes, I understand that a woman having you for dinner is a turn-on for some people. But guys, there has to be a limit. As far as where they'd like to live, Oni are said to like to live in places where humans are not. That being high in the mountains, or deep within caves, or in abandoned structures. Or, I guess, they'll just live in hell. Maybe there's like a whole city or a cul-de-sac that's made for them. But maybe dating one isn't enough for you. Maybe you want to become horny. Well, as luck would have it, the Heian period has created 2 ways in which you yourself can become an Oni. The first way that I found an Oni can be created is through intense negative emotions. Usually just rage, anger, disappointment, like anything that gets you to think in a really aggressive and negative way. Do that, and you will sprout a horn from your head, and you will become an Oni. And if you're curious, I asked an Oni if horny emotions could turn you into one, and she says no. I'm disappointed as you are. Or there is the other way, where it's said that if you were a really bad scumbag in life, King Enma will recognize your talents and turn you into an Oni, to which you can then live out your life in hell, torturing lesser people who have come to hell, that were just so close to being Oni, and yet so far. Basically, the point that I'm trying to get here is that Oni, at least at this point in history, were created to keep human beings in check. Whether they were propaganda to describe the people of the North, whether they were just a fun story told around the campfire, they were beings that people should not mess with because they themselves are an enemy of mankind that feast on mankind. But they weren't without their weaknesses. Because while an Oni has superhuman strength and, in some cases, supernatural magic, they were not beings that could not be slain. And this is evident in the story Shuten Doji that was written, admittedly 300 years after the Heian period, but takes place during the Heian period, at least the setting does. The story of Shuten Doji is like an Oni origin story. I say like, that's exactly what it is. But it starts out with a boy born of a human mother and a demon father. The father having ran out, leaving the boy with his mother. At an early age, the boy displayed unrealistic human capabilities like supernatural human strength and an incredible wit. Now, you think that people would praise him for this sort of thing, because he's like a superhero of the time, but no, that is not what happened. The people of the village that knew of this kid shunned him, and because of that, he was not able to make friends, and he grew up more or less in isolation. It also didn't help that it was said that the boy was a really annoying brat that was so bad that his mother eventually abandoned him by the age of 6, and he was left all alone. With nowhere else to go, the boy eventually becomes an apprentice priest at a local temple, where eventually he starts doing his annoying spiel again, to which the other acolytes don't like him immediately. He also does very un-monk-like things like excessive drinking. It's because of this that the other acolytes give him the nickname Shuten Doji, which in translation means little drunkard. This all comes to a head when one night during a festival at the temple, Shuten Doji puts on an Oni mask and then starts jump scaring and pranking people throughout the festival. I like to imagine that the modern day equivalent to this is like an IRL streamer who goes to people and then constantly tries to annoy them to get a reaction out of them for the camera. I imagine Shuten Doji was sort of like that throughout the festival. So all throughout the night, Shuten Doji's having what he thinks is a good time. That is until by the end of the night, when he tries to remove his mask, he finds that it has fused to his face. Going to the other acolytes for help, they just take the opportunity to shit on him and just say stuff like, "You are an annoying brat, you got what you deserve," etc. To which Shuten Doji's feelings are so hurt by this that it's said that he ran away from the temple and decided to shack up somewhere on the outskirts of Kyoto, where he would then beg and steal for a living. Growing more desperate and resentful towards people, he starts to lean more into the whole killing aspect rather than robbery, and discovers a newfound taste for human flesh. Keep in mind, he's doing all this with the mask still fused to his face, which I imagine is getting more and more grotesque as he discovers that he now can eat people. Somewhere along the way, he eventually discovers that he can do black magic as well, which attracts the attention of local bandits who flock to his side thinking that he's pretty cool. So Shuten Doji forms a bandit posse, and in hanging around him, these men start to become grotesque, but also increase their strength. They find an ability to use magic, and they also have a newfound taste for human flesh. After a while, Shuten Doji no longer has a bandit posse. He now has a gang of Oni that he then uses to raid the city of Kyoto for women, alcohol, and treasure. The government of Kyoto eventually has enough of this and puts out a call to enlist men to fight this gang of Oni. To do this, they enlist the help of a man named Minamoto no Raiko and his gang to fight Shuten Doji and bring back his head. There are many accounts of how the battle goes down. By some of them, Raiko is able to poison the Oni. There are other accounts that say that Raiko and his gang took on the gang of Oni and won. There's also one that says that they went for the Oni while they were sleeping, but what is not disputed is that Raiko is the one who lobs off the demon's head. You know, I never really thought about it until now, but this story might have been a Demon Slayer inspiration. So Raiko and his men succeed, but the head, despite being decapitated, is still alive. It actually tries to bite at Raiko, but because he was wearing 3 samurai helmets, the head couldn't bite through and is perplexed, going, how could you outthink me? You're just a foolish human. Just goes on a tirade, just a monologue. But this in lies a problem, as despite being beheaded, not only is Shuten Doji still alive, but still capable of attacking people. So Raiko gets the idea to go to the outskirts of Kyoto and just bury the head somewhere. I like to imagine that it's probably just still alive underneath the dirt, so it's just waiting for some foolish human to dig it up and then create a second coming of Oni. But that is how the story of Shuten Doji ends, and albeit, I think it's kind of sad. Like, Shuten Doji didn't ask to be born of a demon father and a mother that abandoned him. I mean, sure, he was annoying, but what child isn't, right? It just seems like he was more or less the product of the village that made fun of him to begin with, and then he eventually isolated himself, which brought him into a really dark place. But, I don't know, that's just my interpretation of it. Which is why I'm glad that in the modern era they seem to have taken a turn, where Oni were once seen as man-eating monsters. They have now taken, I guess, a more neutral approach again. The Oni today are seen as spirits that are still evil to a degree, but are an evil spirit that wards away worser spirits, if that makes sense. Or they dispel bad luck instead of being bad luck. In some temple architecture, it's said that they made sculptures of Onis so that way they can scare away bad spirits. And there's a festival that happens in Japan, I think it happens in February, so it happened recently, called the Setsubun Festival, where men in Oni costumes not only just walk around dispelling bad luck, but there's a tradition where these men dressed up as Oni, they arrive at houses, and I think what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to throw beans at them and say, "Go away, Oni," or something of that nature, like dispel the bad luck and go on with your... I forget what the actual saying is. But it's supposed to be based off of a story when a priest encountered an Oni centuries ago and threw beans at it, apparently getting it in the eye, causing the Oni to run away. So that's why the beans are a thing that people use to ward them off. It's a really weird weakness to have, but at the same time, it sounds like a weakness that anything could work. Like, by that logic, they have vulnerable eyes, so I'm pretty sure a flashbang can work on these things. But enough about talk of injuring the Oni, because everything seems to be chill with them now. And if modern shows are any indication, the Oni are now very chill, down-to-earth, and very fun. And this goes all the way back since Slum Invader, which, while I still think that she is an outer space alien, she's still modeled after Oni. Like, they could have chosen her character to be a monster, but they didn't. They kept the lightning, they kept the strength, they kept the horns, they kept the loincloths, but they didn't make her a man-eating demon. They made her a funny character. Alluring character. Probably one of the first moe characters to ever exist. You could say that that's just the way of anime, like with every girl that you make, that's what you do. They're not supposed to be terrifying monsters. But how far they've come. At this point, Oni are relatable, stylish, toned, athletic. Sometimes a little more eager to throw hands than most other beings, but hey, if I'm allowed to be horny, they're allowed to be violent. That's the way I see it. They're not bad guys. They're one of the guys. But hey, don't take my word for it.
It's funny. I was looking at your content, and I noticed you interviewed one of my good friends, Kendra Bratton.
Yes,
So
yes, I did. I saw she
that was
on
awesome.
Mutuals as well.
Yeah.
She was certainly energetic, and I couldn't pronounce who she was for the life of me. Which I practiced.
I did watch that part.
Go ahead and tell her that I finally figured out how to say Leanne and she.
Got it.
Damn right. Thank you for coming on. It is a pleasure to have an Oni here on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. How are you?
I'm doing just fine and well fed. So for anybody who doesn't know, I was in the process of making food by the time we decided to do the interview. It was my mistake. I took a nap and then woke up late. So if you see me stuffing my face with potatoes, that's why. I never said I was a professional. But we're going to try our best, and we're going to start by doing what I usually do for these, which is asking about your lore. I'd like to know where it is that you hail from.
All right, well, hiya, the name's Aono, and I am from a prestigious and well-distinguished Oni family known as the Skikishima clan. I sort of left the fam behind to embark on my own individual journey and ended up here at the Rikori dorm where I've met other rather peculiar yokai. I love to fight and throw hands with my enemies in my spare time, sing some rock and roll, and spend time with my 5 familiars. We Oni have superhuman strength, regenerative abilities, and have resistance to most toxins, but other than that, I'd say we're pretty normal. I mean, as normal as one could be, I suppose.
That was something I was curious about. I wanted to ask about your powers, because I didn't know if you could do what other Oni could do, because regeneration was a big one. I was wondering if you could also, shapeshift. Because that's another one.
Shapeshift?
Yeah. Is that something you could do?
Apart from what I just said, I'm pretty much just like the rest of y'all. So no, I don't really have magic or anything like that. Over time, we sort of lost that kind of ability in our lineage. But if you ask my grandpa nicely, he might trick you and shapeshift a little.
Ooh, that's the other thing I wanted to ask about ancestry. So you feel free to say classified if I'm being a little bit racist. That's just me being a foolish human. But I wanted to ask about Oni history and ancestry, because a long time ago, humans and Onis were very at odds, I will say. So I'll just come out and ask: do you eat humans, or is that a practice that's long outdated?
Okay, I'll be honest, I don't particularly eat humans, so lucky for you. I just kick their ass. The whole eating humans thing is a bit of a myth, a silly one even for us modern day Oni. Though, yeah, my ancestry may tell a different story, and my great grandmother says some I guess cultures taste a certain way. So I'll give an example. Filipinos, they taste gamey and they have a subtle hint of chicken adobo. So, consider yourself safe, somewhat. So yeah, no, I don't particularly eat humans. Just fight them from time to time.
I wanted to ask, what was, so it must have been fairly confusing going from a town populated by Onis. I'm not really sure where it is that you're from, but adjusting to modern life, coming to a human city. So how is it modern, getting adjusted or getting acquainted with humans just in our world?
Yeah, so, me and my family, we've tried very hard to blend in with you fellow humans. Or not fellow humans, but humans. But yeah, I gotta say, you guys have a lot of cool things. Sushi and streaming being some pretty gnarly inventions. I love being able to connect with beings all over the world with different walks of life, human or not. Best thing is I can just sit at my desk and, do it rather than roam the earth for days on end, probably like my ancestors did. And sushi, those damn things taste so good, bro. Why eat human when I can have salmon sashimi? It's a no-brainer.
Right? Exactly. God, if only people 500 years ago thought of that one instead of being boiled and cooked. Is there anything that confuses you about the human world still? Like, is there anything that we do that Onis are just like, oh, you guys are pretty weird?
I'd say I've done a pretty good job with, blending in so far, but I do have one thing. Seriously, what the hell is this 6-7 business? You people memes out of anything, and apparently numbers in sequence are no different. What's with the hand motion associated with it too? I am frankly confuzzled.
That is a dark side of humanity that I personally have no. I feel like I was born like way too old to have been attached to that. Thank God. My era.
Me too.
Yeah, so I'll say I was born in the year 2000. So my generation's thing was water bottle flipping, whipping, dabbing, like back when that was a thing.
Oh yeah, I'm hundreds of years old. I've been there too.
Yeah, why we do it? I don't know. Like it's just the way fads work. It's just humans have a desire to just like celebrate the craziest things every now and then. Why they're doing 6-7 of all things, I really couldn't tell you. Just consider it like a dark stain in humanity, like how you might view the Oni's past and how they were like guardians of the underworld or whatever. I don't know if you view that as like a dark past, but just think of humans like that. We have our moments, and then we have our darker sides.
I gotcha. I wish I could have gotten a better answer, but so far with all of the humans I've interacted with, they definitely don't know. They just don't know, and I won't ever know.
It's safer that way, to be honest. You don't want to get involved with that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think the youngins are up to no good as usual.
Oh right. I also wanted to ask, do you have a metal bat like Onis usually carry, or is that just a stereotype?
I mean, it looks sick, right? For me personally, my pops crafted it for me, and I think it adds to my outfit, I'd say. Plus, humans are less inclined to bother me when I carry it around. A repellent, if you will. So yeah, I'd say that's pretty much it.
How many people have you fought thus far? Do you actually keep track of that, or is it just so many times that you've just completely forgotten the victims you've left in your wake?
So when I first debuted, one of my goals actually was to defeat 1,000 humans. I'm getting there.
Holy shit.
But yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay, do you like seek and destroy, or is it like only when they piss you off kind of thing? How far do your morals go here?
Don't get on my bad side, and we're 100% cool, tight,
Good, because my worry is like I could be walking down the street one day, and then you happen to be walking by. You just point me out and go, I picked that one.
No, I look at you. Yeah, look at me funny. And then I end up being victim number like 872 or whatever.
No, I've come across some bad folk in my time, and that's the only time I really love to throw hands. But I'd say the regular, everyday human. You guys are cool. You guys are fine.
Yeah, no, that's fine. There are some humans that deserve a bat to the maybe a bat to the back of the head every now and then. Preferably those of the 6-7 variety, I would say, but. You could go with really anything. You can go with a golf club. You could go for.
Oh yeah.
You can use like modern human guns, but you decided to go with a metal bat. I think that there is flavor to it. I think that there is like a certain style to it that Oni really pull off.
It matches my outfit too. I mean, it's usually wooden, with like metal spikes, but it's all metal for me.
It's a good thing we're not doing the eye tracker. I swear to God, because. I keep looking at the jiggle physics.
Hey, my eyes are up here.
What are you gonna do about it? I'm on the other side of the camera, and you said you don't have magic.
I know, unfortunate.
But speaking of fighting, I wanted to ask if you do you think you're strong enough to tackle some of the cryptids that we have over here in America? We have like Bigfoot, we have Mothman, we have the skunk ape. So I don't know if you've heard any of them, but do you think you could take on any of those guys?
Yeah, I could handle them. Oh, you mean in a fight?
In a fight,
that
right?
Too. Jokes aside, though, they're cool and honestly elusive. Though, I've been around the world and stuff. Chupacabra and I sparred once and ended in a tie. Nessie, she's cooler than you think. Don't tell her I said this, but she's gorgeous. But yeah, I could handle them.
No, you and Mothman actually have a little thing going on where apparently Onis are also like signs of bad luck. Like Mothman's got that whole bad luck thing about him where wherever he goes, disaster strikes. Onis also have that sort of thing where if you see an Oni, I think that's like an earthquake is about to happen or a thunderstorm's about to happen. Is that something that happens with you guys? Is it like one of those wherever you walk, flowers don't bloom?
Not for me, not for me. Like I said, I throw hands rather than lightning or stuff like that. I know there's a common, I guess, idea that we also create like earthquakes or like other natural disasters. But the only earthquake I make is me running to the nearest Pokemon Center to buy their newest Piplup plushies. So you're good, you're good. You cross my path, you're good.
How can I phrase this one? In Legends, there are tales of people that have become Oni, like sprouting the horns from their head, whether it was because of just a curse or because they had really strong emotions. Is that actually a thing that can happen? Can people become Onis? To your knowledge?
Yeah, I mean, a big fun fact is a very famous Oni I'm sure you've heard of is Shuten Doji. And he was born a human. So, yeah, it's absolutely possible for that to happen. How? I'm not quite too sure. I was not well versed or educated on this fact. Maybe Gramps knows. But yeah, that's something that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear that it's from powerful emotion. So, do you think any emotion will work if I really try hard enough, or is it just maybe just stuck to the basics like anger?
It could be like similar to, like how Aang activates his avatar state in serious emotion, right? But I don't know, maybe most humans just toot a little.
I just stub my toe, and then all of a sudden a glowing horn appears from my head, and I break the entire floor that I'm on. That would be so cool.
I mean, that would be cool, right? That would be cool. I wouldn't know. I was born this way, so.
Yeah, with
nubby horns.
Yeah, I was watching one of your streams. I heard that you started watching Avatar. Now, granted, this was maybe like 2 weeks ago.
I did.
Yeah, how far are you now?
I'm like in the middle of season 2, I think, and it's stressing me out.
Dude, you are in for a treat. I can't believe you haven't seen it up until now, to be honest.
I know, I'm very disappointed that I haven't seen it till now. A lot of my friends were like, hey, if you haven't seen Avatar, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I got Netflix, and I was like, I'm gonna watch Avatar now. And it is peak, let me tell you. It is peak.
Incredible.
Characters are amazing.
Yes, and I will not spoil anything. I will just say it only gets better from here. Personally, I just think that it's a show that grows with its audience.
Believe it. Yeah, I believe it. Like, it's so good at storytelling, and I tell myself one more episode.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, it's not one of those shows to do that. No, it's too addictive.
It's really not, especially where I'm at currently. It's like there's drama everywhere. I'm just like, oh god. Still,
I want to go back to being a kid again and watching all those shows.
Oh yeah, like, there's so many fun shows. I did like a nostalgic deep dive, and we were talking about cartoon shows for days on end.
Yeah, what did your Oni parents let you grow up watching? Did they let you grow up watching
gosh. My mother would watch, was it Dragon Tales with me? We would watch Courage the Cowardly Dog together, which is why I got
Good
so
one.
into horror. So good, so good. My favorite cartoon of all time. Yeah.
Oh, sick. Yeah, what was the what do you think was the scariest monster in Courage? I got mine.
It's either the Return the Slab guy or
100% agree
you
with
know
you.
the the blue guy that says you're not perfect in encourages like vision.
That was in the last episode. That weird art piece with the twisted like you're not.
The little 3D, you're not perfect. And like
You just released a core
back in
memory
the
from me.
day, I had it's so
Oh.
good. That haunted me so good when I was younger.
Yeah, that one. Like, I guess that one wasn't as bad for me. The slab guy was always worse because, like,
Slab guy is
yeah,
scary.
no, like blue guy was bad, but that's only like fever dream sort of
Mhm.
bad. He can't curse me. Slab guy could have sent
Yeah.
bugs into my house. Slab guy could have flooded my house because this was
Yep.
back when I first watched it. I was like really big on curses, and oh my god, that's a thing that can happen. You could have fooled little me with that, but nowadays, now I know that I can't mess with that unless I steal a slab from the museum. So I should be okay so long as I don't screw up that royally.
Exactly.
That isn't
There's a lot of
to
things
say that
are
modern horror
avoidable.
still doesn't scare me. I've gotten a lot tougher when it comes to that sort of thing, but no, there could be some really scary stuff out there. As an Oni, do you still get scared
Yeah.
of some of the entertainment that we create?
Honestly, yeah, I just I know some of you guys have heard of me from Phasmophobia,
Oh, I
good
haven't
game.
gotten a chance to see you play that yet. Shoot.
But yeah, there's plenty of modern horror that I think gives me the spooks. But I'm a big fan of horror, so I voluntarily let it happen to me, you know?
All right, that was a fun tangent. Let's see what else we got on the list.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I yap quite a bit.
No,
so
it's better that way. No,
feel free
I
to
want
stop me.
No, I want to keep that shit in. Believe me. The last thing that I have here is I got a couple of questions from the fans who have Oni questions of their own. If you'd be willing to take some questions from those mortals.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's go for it.
All right, let's see what we got. First up, we got one from Strange Seraphim who asks, "Are there Oni famous to humans that are famous to other Oni?" Which I think you mentioned one of them earlier, right? God, what was his name?
Mm-hmm. Shuten Doji.
Shuten Doji, yeah. I think he was asking if there was just Shuten Doji or like any one of those stories could have been scary to us, but were they like neighbors to you?
Okay.
Does it kind of like downplay? Does it kind of downplay to the point where it's just like, oh yeah, I know that guy. He plays mahjong at the retirement home every Wednesday. He's a good guy.
One of my great grandmothers probably went to school or something with Shuten, but again, Shuten Doji was not born an Oni, which is a fun fact. But I think if some humans are famous to y'all, it's the same for us too.
Yeah, no, I guess that does work out. He also asks, what's your favorite alcoholic drink?
Yes, so I know Oni are famous for being a bit alcoholic, yeah. But my favorite alcoholic drink is vodka. It is clean and smooth. Don't give me tequila though, or else I really might consider eating you like my ancestors did. Don't give it to me.
I knew it! You were faking!
No, I wouldn't eat you, but it would give me ideas, It would give me ideas.
I wouldn't recommend it. I'm Filipino. I taste like chicken adobo.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe even sinigang.
There are worse dishes. You ever heard of you ever heard of balut?
Oh, yeah, I tried it once.
Oh my god, you've
Not
tried it?
A huge fan. Yes, I've tried it. I can speak Filipino.
No way. You can speak Tagalog?
Yeah.
That's the language. I can't remember a lot of it, but I could say a few words like I think masurap means delicious. That's the only thing that that's
Yes,
the big
yes.
word that I could say. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm fluent. Yeah.
Nice. Is that just like because that's most of your victims are Filipino, or is it like?
I think perhaps maybe my ancestors' victims were mainly Filipino. Sorry, Filipinos.
God, we get shit on by the Spanish. We get dunked on by the Americans. Now
And now the
now we're on
Onis, too.
now we're on the Onis radar. We can't win. Oh god, my friend's gonna get a kick out of this one, I swear. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Another question that just came to me. What's the lifespan of an Oni? Do they last as long as humans, or can they like really last?
Yeah.
Are they like sea turtles that last
I-
500 years?
I mean, some Onis are pretty much immortal, to be honest.
You're kidding.
So, yeah, they live long time, and it's pretty tough to get rid of them. Things have definitely changed over time in the hundreds of years that I've existed.
God. Oh my. Wait, you've existed hundreds of years?
I am more like thousands of years. I am 2,400 years old. Young.
2,400 years old?
Yes.
Holy.
Very.
crap.
But I'm considered younger than a lot of Oni, so some things I haven't experienced.
Okay. How does that translate to human years? 2,400 years. Is that like, I don't know, 20? Careful how you answer this, because you also answered you drink tequila.
Yeah, I'd say that's classified. Don't ask a lady her age.
Very well. Next question we have, well, not really a question. We have one from L Flame that says, I genuinely have no questions. I could, however, smite an Oni. I think he's just trying to challenge you.
Okay, here's my message to sir.
Oh, all right.
I will fight you in a Waffle House anytime, any day. And after I kick your teeth in, we can enjoy some steak and eggs on me. Does that sound good?
He can't, you kick his teeth in, he wouldn't be able to eat. Is that the punishment?
Yeah. You're gonna have to use your gums. Whatever.
Well, you heard
Drink a
her.
smoothie.
Yeah, you heard her, Ella Flame. She accepts your letter of challenge anytime. Go to your local Waffle House, just sit there, and she'll show up eventually. Just you wait.
I'll show up probably after midnight, where it's peak hours.
Yeah, you could. Who knows? You could be victim number 1,000 and finally complete her total.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever complete
Add to
that
my
total,
goal
or were you?
count.
Yeah. Did you ever complete that goal count?
We're on
or-
our way. We're on our way. There's not too many horrible people out there, but we're on our
okay.
way. We're on our way.
So you're still doing it. You're still.
Still doing it. Still kicking.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I saw you have injuries on you that haven't healed yet. Are those recent, or are those just like battle scars you want to keep?
Battle scars, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like how like Mater from the second Cars movie. I got dents that I keep because they're treasured memories.
Tow Mater is the goat.
But I have one. God, it's hard to see. I'll show the camera if you can see it. Yeah, there we go. I was on a study abroad trip to Scotland, and I was walking down the road with some buddies, and mind you, I was not drunk when this happened. There was a tire swing just like on the other end of a stone wall, and I was thinking, wow, I really want to get on that tire swing. I'm only in Scotland for a month. I really just want to get to that. Again, broad daylight, and I'm not drunk. So they're talking me out of it. So I'm like, dude, you don't want to do that. You know why? There's like an 8-foot stone wall in front of you. You're not getting over that. And I still wanted to get over to that tire swing. So I run at the wall full speed, thinking that I could at least like jump high enough to grab the top of the wall and pull myself over. But I missed, and I really scraped up the right side of my arm pretty bad. Not bad enough to like require stitches or get hospitalized or anything, but just bad enough so that way it left a mark. And that's what happened. They reprimanded me for being an idiot, and well, I walked off with a scar and a pretty nice story to tell. And no, I never got to sit on that tire swing.
I guess fuck around and find out, right?
Against a stone wall, any person could have made that mistake. I really wanted that tire swing.
Nah, I get you. I get you. Tire swings are hella fun.
No, you don't understand. You don't get it because you're an Oni and you could have smashed that stone wall. Should you have decided that you probably could have leapt over it, but nah. The human vulnerability it really gets in the way sometimes.
Very limiting. I know. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that.
Although I have seen you defeated in one respect. I have seen back during I saw one of your shorts when you were taking on Koopa the Quick, and you.
Oh gosh, Koopa the Quick, more like Koopa the Slow. No, I
Say what you
had
will.
to challenge that man
He
3
clapped
times.
you.
If you haven't seen that short, y'all, go watch it because it is a lesson to be learned.
She gets what's
Do
coming to her.
not shit talk Koopa the Quick. He's called Koopa the Quick for a reason, y'all.
I don't buy it.
They do dance to that song where it goes like, ha ha.
Great. So in addition to beating you, he showboat on you.
Yeah, he does. He's a performer. He's a racer and a performer. Great. It just, I can't compete.
God, what an asshole. I mean, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't have done the same thing, but we're not talking about me. We're talking about him. Actually, yeah. Are there any other villains that you never could or that you couldn't defeat? You don't have to get into it if it's a personal. You have a vendetta and you don't want to reveal who they are, sort of thing. But is there anything else that's like, despite my power and form, there's one thing that I can't defeat, and that's this.
That's a great question. I've really got to think about that. You know, I'll say it. Okay, recently, you know what really got me? What really just grinded my gears? Fake geometry dash on girlsgogames.com. Yep, that took me about, oh gosh. I don't want to dwell on it. I don't. All I know is, and the people who know me will know this, but all I heard was do-da-dee-da-dee-da, for about a good 30 to an hour, I would say. That really defeated me. I'm sorry that it, no matter what strength, I can't do it.
No, I understand. Back in the day, when I was big on my mobile game period, it was those, and I think back when Cool Math Games was a thing, I'd always play those for hours on end. Like, oh god,
Cool Math
one
games.
thing that I could never defeat, if I had a personal enemy, it would be it was a game called The World's Hardest Game. Where like the trick was you were a square. You had to use the keyboard to try to control your square so that way it doesn't touch the blue circles. That's what you were fighting.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's 25 whole levels, but I could never do it because it's like the scary maze game wherever like if you touch it by the slightest degree, it starts you out from the beginning, and I would do that for hours trying to figure it out, but I just could never have the skill.
Just 1 pixel. Like, it's just awful. Oh my gosh, have you played Bloxers or Bloxors, however you pronounce it?
Yes, Bloxors.
Oh my gosh, that took me forever, but I defeated that though.
I probably could defeat that if I really wanted. Okay, if it was still a thing, I probably could defeat it if I were to go back to it then. But back then, I was a really stupid kid. I couldn't. It's because like with those levels, I remember distinctly going like back and forth, trying the same moves, thinking like it's like when a baby tries to put square item in round hole. Like I just every time, but. I eventually passed whatever levels that I needed to, and I was able to leave with victory in mind, doing like the All Might pose as I exited the computer room, being like, "Yep, today was the day. Eat it, Blorks."
Great game though.
Oh no, they had the best games back then. That's so.
Absolutely.
It's so sad. Some of like the oldest stuff really is good, and really I argue would hold up if it still existed, like. Club Penguin, Pop Tropica. I don't know if that's a thing still.
I was just talking to my onigiris about Pop Tropica and
call your people the onigiris.
Club Penguin. They are the onigiris. Yeah, shout out onigiris. Hi. But no, I was just talking about Club Penguin, and some of them were like, Club Penguin. I'm like, what the hell you mean you don't
That
know
hurts
Club
me
Penguin?
so
You don't-
much.
You don't know the pizza game? The pizza game where it gets faster and faster? Or the coffee game? Oh my gosh. Get out of here.
No, my favorite was always back when they introduced the ninja games. Those are the ones that I
Love
would
it.
play.
I would
Because that
I
was when
talked
snow
about
was
that
a
too.
thing.
The dojo.
The dojo,
Yes,
the
yes,
dojo.
so
God,
good.
what was it called? Dojo Masters, or was it with the
Or
elemental
something
cards?
like that. Yeah, with the elemental cards, and there was like basically first Hearthstone.
God, that hit. That was so good.
Yeah.
I say that thinking
Oh,
like
such a
if
shame it's not around.
I say that thinking if I went back to that, I'd probably get bored with it in just minutes. But something about the youth of the
Style on
mind.
all the kids.
Yeah,
I was
just-
a black belt.
Yeah, this
so-
this 25-year-old man just like spending his days beating up beating up Club Penguin children. That's how I get my high. Look. Okay, you fight your humans. I'll fight my 12-year-olds online
At Club Penguin.
at Club Penguin. God, you should have seen freaking Duke Bosso 44 in his heyday. Back when he was when he made those tear emojis fly. When he beat those plebeians at the sled race. Watching them log out in
sled race,
rage.
They just disappear from the screen, and you knew you did your job.
You knew that on the other end they were bawling. They crawled up into a little corner to weep about the day that they will once again cross Duke Boss 044. Which, if you didn't know, that's my gamer name. That's my gamer name. So I don't go by Antagonish. I go by Duke Boss 044, and I never changed it because I just don't know how. I'm really bad with technology.
Oh, same here.
You really got me thinking. Just stuff from the olden days. Like Webkins was another one that I was really fun
Oh
with.
my
But that was
god,
when
I collected Webkins!
Me too. I still have a few of them that I just can't part with because they're just they were my children. I loved them.
My mother still has my Webkins and Care Bears collection from when I was a wee lass, and they're on a shelf, and some of them are probably worth quite a bit of money, actually.
Holy smokes,
I was really a collector.
Nah, you never part with that.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, my mom keeps it in my old bedroom before I left.
God, do you if you never played the games on Webkins on the website, did you?
Oh, I definitely did.
Oh,
what was that one? Or I don't know if it was a game, but I particularly remembered like there was like a doctor part of Webkins, or
that was
like
Miss. I think it was Miss Quack or whatever. It was
Miss.
the doctor was a duck.
Dr. Quack. Yeah,
Dr. Quack,
yeah.
Where I always because I always made the rookie mistake of not putting my Webkins to bed. So they would always be sick because the thing with them was like if you didn't put them in bed, like you would log back on maybe in 3 days and you'd say like, oh my god, but Turtle, what happened to you? You're sick. And then you take him to Dr. Quack and they'd say you haven't been feeding him all that much. And I kept feeding him, but they never told you the real reason is because you didn't put him to bed. You didn't log them out properly.
Exactly.
And it all
it
all came to a head when I made myself like a little dinner party. I had like 10 whole Webkins out, and I left them all on the account like for maybe 3 whole days. I got back, they were all sick, and I spent all of my dollars trying to fix them. Burnt all of my cash trying to fix it.
Oh my gosh, good times, dude. I haven't spoken to anyone who has like had Webkins, so this is awesome. Actually,
those are great. Nah, there was that. There was the Wheel of Wow. There was the Wishing Well.
Yeah, the Wheel of Wow.
The Wheel of Wow. Thank God that thing, one way or another, it drilled its way into my head, and it never left. So cool. And then the Zingos, the what I believe are the prototype minions from Despicable Me. Like those came first. I'm telling you, those little
Wait, I gotta look at them again.
the Zingos,
Oh my gosh,
the
you're
Zingos were like
so
little. They were like
right.
little yellow lemons, and their thing was like you could beat them, you can hit them, you can scratch them. You can't injure them. I guess I don't know what their deal was, but
Yes!
they were like
I always thought they looked like
minions.
bananas.
I thought they were lemons. I don't know what you were talking about. They were lemons for sure.
They got the lemons. Yeah, I guess I can see lemon, but I always thought they looked like bananas with their the little tip on the head. I don't know, like little fat bananas. I don't know.
Yeah, but even as a kid, like I'd probably think the same way as I do now about those things. Their voice is annoying.
They're from That's a good one.
I'm so glad there was like a batting average game where like they used the Zingo as baseballs, so you could just home run out of my life forever. Shoot. Hey, I should get back to those fan questions, shouldn't I?
We're just going on any tangent possible.
Yeah. No, what I really love is what you're 2,400 years old. Webkins is the thing that stuck with you amongst all the other.
It definitely did. It definitely did.
That's,
oh my
that's
gosh,
one of the things that had the greatest
so
impact.
many.
Oni core memory.
Exactly.
Oh boy. Oh yeah. One from Gataylor asks, "Are beans an Oni's weakness?" They were wondering. Yeah, because I was wondering that too. I saw a lot of stigma where if you throw beans in an Oni, it's supposed to be like garlic to a vampire. Is that true? Are you weak to beans?
I'll tell you a secret. I love beans. I'll throw beans at me all day. You know, I'll tear up a Chipotle bowl any day.
Why isn't this working? Run!
I'm just catching it in my mouth. Yum, 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 yum. But no, the bean thing is a tradition called Setsubun. But yeah, people throw beans in hopes to ward off Oni, but it doesn't work on me though. Maybe older Oni, back in the day. But on me, I'm gonna catch them. I'll gather them. I'm gonna bake them maybe. No, it's good. It's good stuff. For me.
No, that's perfect because you just reminded me of something. I was like, when I was talking about if any emotion would work, I was going to ask if your grandpa's around. I was going to ask your grandpa if like horny emotions work because I.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
I could just become an Oni if I'm just like the power of horny. and if that didn't work and he gets mad at me, I could just use the beans I got in my pocket, just say, get back. Get back. I just wanted information, that's all. I'll be out of your hair now.
Yeah. Some media does display Oni as like allergic or like scared of beans. Like I know a very notable one for some of you folk is Arataki Ito from Genshin Impact. Hates beans. Can't be around beans. Just not me, you know.
No, beans work in a different way. We throw them at you and you don't run away. You kind of just like, you're stuck to them. You're like the Minecraft spider webs. You just like, you stay in that one spot for a while and that gives us time to run away. That's what I'm picturing.
Exactly. Like a little ward. A little crucifix.
Doesn't work the way you think, but it is effective nonetheless. So yeah, Gataylor, if you ever encounter an Oni in the wild, I guess beans could work depending on the one you encounter.
Yeah.
God forbid you run into Shikishima, but like if you do, maybe go for I don't know, is there a bean that you don't fancy? Maybe like kidney beans or like chili beans?
Oh yeah, I'm not a big fan of pinto.
There you go. Yeah. Gataylor, go for pinto. Go for pinto beans.
There you go. Yeah. Go for that. Yeah.
All right, next up we have one from Mike Ketchup who asks, is it possible to be friends with an Oni, and are there requirements?
Good question. Mike Ketchup? That's a great name. Yeah, I'll chop it up with you. I'll give you a big hug. I'll listen to your problems, whatever, you know. I'll be honest, though. I am friendlier than a lot of Oni, and I only rough up any evildoers rather than innocent civilians. So stay on my good side, and I'll consider you a pal. I wouldn't say there's any really other requirement than just be nice, you know?
That's nice. Yeah, and that's the other thing that I was surprised about. You were a lot nicer. Yeah, you were a lot nicer than I was expecting an Oni to be. And mind you, this is from somebody
Yes,
who's been like
yes.
spending a day or two looking at research where they're like, Oni are
Yeah,
hulking,
they're
massive,
scary.
eat
They're
humans,
horrible.
scary
Yeah.
guardians of the underworld. They'll torture you every chance they get. You're nicer
Straight
than
from
that.
hell.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I've been known to have a cheerful disposition, so
Yeah. I mean, you still give me like bad
uh,
bitch from hell vibes, but like not in the
Oh,
way
hell
that's
yeah.
scary. It's more of like a hell yeah kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Good advice to anybody. Do you think this will work for every Oni? Other ones that you've encountered, I
No.
guess. No.
No. If you met my mother, her temper, girl.
Oh God.
But yeah, I'd say not every Oni. So you can't just walk up to an Oni and expect them to be like me, you know? So be careful either way. I implore you to be careful.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, Mike Ketchup, Shikishima. That's good. Shikishima's mom. Bring some beans, just in case. Unless
Bring
those
some
don't work
beans,
either, in
yeah.
which case, sorry man, can't help you.
Oh, her wrath knows no bounds.
And then we have one last question from that one guy, FFS. That one guy for fuck's sake. Can I touch her horns? Is his question.
Paws off the horns. They're sensitive.
Oh yeah. Is there like a thing where the horns are sacred? You don't want to touch them because it's a special thing. Yeah, you can't.
So
our
our horns are our horn shape and the way they look is actually dependent on our lineage or bloodline.
No
So
way.
yeah, it really all depends. My clan have these kind of horns, but there are other Onis that have different looking horns. They can be nubby, they can be super long, they can be colored. So yeah, it just depends. But for me, don't touch the horns. Don't. Maybe I'll think about what my ancestors do, which is eat y'all.
Oh God. Yeah, not gonna lie, I thought you were about to say like, maybe if you throw me a little bit of beans, I'd be okay with it. But
Just the beans? No, add you to the Chipotle bowl.
No. I was referring to like if you throw me some bean, like if like the way that you give a deer crackers and they let you pet them. Like if I just put some beans right in front of you, then I could tap the horn, just like there we go. Now I can say I've done it.
So funny you mentioned deer because I'm going to Japan next week and
cool.
I'm probably gonna visit those headbutting deer. So yeah.
Wait, they
I think
headbutt
that's
people?
funny that you
I
mentioned
thought it was just like they're familiar.
They
with
headbutt
people.
people. Oh no,
God.
they think you have the crackers. Apparently they headbutt you, which is really funny to me. I hope I get headbutted. I want to be headbutted. I want to understand these deer.
I'm just gonna hear on the headlines of Japanese news or international news. Oni picks fight with local deer.
With local deer, yeah. It's just me doing fisticuffs with the deer.
Oni suplexes deer. Says deer was asking for it. Deer touches Oni's horns.
A Truxican standoff.
God, that'd be great. God, I really want to go to Japan. That's like it's the dream to go there with like me and my mates, my guys, just to go down there and see just
go.
the biggest things. Have you been there before?
I have been there before, and the Shikishima family is Japanese, but like it's a beautiful country and it's wonderful, yeah. So I'm very excited to come back and do some more exploring.
Do you speak Japanese?
No, a little. I know it's a disappointment to my bloodline. only just a little.
Families from Japan.
Just enough to get by.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. My family's from the Philippines and I can't speak a wink of Tagalog, so that's I get it. If nothing else, I get it. Oh, man.
All good. Yep.
No,
yeah.
to go down there and for one, I do want to see the deer. The other thing that I wanted to go down to Akihabara so I can like get the figures, the figure capital of the world. see all the maid
Yes,
cafes as well.
yes.
That's a big one. Oh man, I have to see what that's like.
Oh yeah. These girls, they're really, oh my gosh, they're so kawaii. They stand outside their cafes and like advertise it. It's pretty cool to see actually.
Yeah,
But I'm sure they're tired.
I'll bet. Yeah, no, but like another thing I hear is that the customer service over there is incredible. Like they all go above and beyond. It's just
Oh
it's just the
yeah.
culture. But
They're so polite. It's really nice actually.
yeah, all I know is that if I go over there and I don't get an omelet rice served with a heart and like a like one of those little heart symbols and those magic spells, it's not going to be a good trip. At least not for the rest of the guys. 'Cause I'm going to be complaining about it the entire time.
That's so funny. Yeah, one day you should definitely go.
Oh, 100%. No, that is the dream. That is the dream we are working towards. Ah, man, but that is just about all the questions that I have asked and all of the questions that I have about Onis. This has been really fun. Thank you again for dealing with my bullshit and answering all these questions of mine.
You're good. This was really fun, and I really appreciate the invite. I am glad to clear up any confusion or anything related to us modern day Oni. So I hope that helped a lot.
It certainly did. No, I got one hell of a research video on my hands now. But before I go, do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube and Twitter and TikTok at Shikishima Aono. I do all things horror. I love to sing. What else? And I yap my ass off. So if you like someone that talks for the full 2 hours of stream, go check me out. It'd be really awesome. I love talking to everyone. So you bet your ass I'm gonna talk to you too.
Oh yeah. You know, throughout this experience, I'm starting to see Onis as an allegory for modern Japan. They were scary at one point, but now they're pretty chill. That said, is it safe to date one? Hell no! You heard from Aoi yourself. She's fine. You could throw beans at her and you could be friends, but there are Oni out there, according to her, that you cannot do that with. It's probably safe to carry beans in your pocket in case you interact with one that is less friendly. No, alright, play nice, play nice. Alright, that's not all Oni, but proceed with caution, fellas. Let's say you find one who is friendly and cute. Then you have to deal with things that you don't think about. What happens when you try to go in for a cheek smooch and then one of her horns accidentally gouges out your eye? Huh? Yeah. Dangerous. Potentially, if she doesn't know her own strength, what happens if she playfully taps me on the shoulder and then ends up throwing me through 3 walls? That could happen. Or worse yet, what happens if she has a taste for human flesh, and despite the fact that I tell her I'm Filipino, it has no effect? I'm not ready to be chicken adobo. I'm not ready to be sinigang. But hey, that's just me. Maybe you are stronger than I, and if that is the case, I wish you good luck, brother. Hell, the true strength of one who is a fan of monster girls is denying everybody who tells you that it's a bad idea and going for it anyway, because that is the true strength. That is also all that I have to say about Onis. Thank you again for Aono Skikishima for letting me interview her. She is super cool, and she also allowed me to eat my potatoes during the interview, as unprofessional as that was. But beyond that, thank you guys for sticking around this long into the video. If you managed to stick around for this long, I always appreciate that, and appreciate you with all the comments that I get, even the ones that are probably going to tell me that Lum is in fact an Oni and that I am wrong. Tell you what, once we make some sort of archaeological discovery where Oni did in fact come from the heavens and that ends up being outer space and then they turn out to be real, then I would be more than happy to take back everything that I said and say that Lum is 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, an Oni. If I missed anything about the Oni, like stories or characters you're a fan of, let me know in the comments below. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a sentence to serve. Sayonara, suckers.